How about drums? An instrument everybody loves. Let's get down, to the beat, to the beat.
Hanging with Nate the drummer.
Hanging with Nate the drummer.
All right, we're here with Brenden Starr. If you guys don't know him, you're going to. Let me tell you, he's going to be doing some big things. Partial, but yeah, he's my new buddy, right? So he knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, man, we got a new art love between the two of us, so it's vibing.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome, buddy.
I'm here.
After a long battle of technical difficulties, we are here.
Yes.
All right. So, why don't you tell people when did you first, hear music and were like, man, I want to do this?
I mean, music's been a part of my whole life. When I lived with my mom as a kid, we never really watched cartoons. It was MTV 7 days a week, Madonna, Michael Jackson, old Van Halen. They're pretty much discovering who David Lee Roth was, and that's kind of like early on before I really started getting into music.
So would you say it was more from TV than like a relative? Some people were like, wow, my brother's playing this.
First, years down the road, when I discovered my uncle had a drum set, and I never thought I was going to play drums until about 6th grade. And my dad bought me my first drum set. That would have been a big gap because I was around, preschool, kindergarten era when I see my uncle had a drum set, and always wanted to play. And that's kind of like what started it. I've sang since my childhood, but I've played drums and sang through a lot of bands.
That's why we get along. I knew there had to be some connection. My dad did the same thing, got me a kit when I was little. And I think back on it now because my mom let me have it. And I think how cool it was, because it's not an easy instrument to have.
Yeah.
Did you have a separate drum room or?
Mine was in the basement. So, didn't mind it for a bunch of years. And then it had to be cut off at a certain time later in high school.
How did you learn? I used to put headphones on, put the radio on, and just kind of see what I could do.
Yeah, I learned from ear. I did study some books. I still have one of the books, the heavy metal drumming book. It's got a lot of really good stuff in from Lars stuff, Dave Lombardo, Anthrax, Maiden. Tried to teach myself how to read tab. That didn't turn out so well, but I kind of idea. But yeah, the whole headphone things, yeah. I did the same thing. Had the old Sony, pop it in there. I remember going through a couple different set of headphones because the wires were never long enough, and I never knew where to set the CD player if it wasn't going to skip. It couldn't be nowhere near the drums. If I had a long cord and extend it and it was down on the floor, it would never skip because of the vibration from like the cymbals and drums. It would cause the CD player to skip.
I totally feel that. I remember those days, and yeah, you'd have to put it in your pocket. I used to run the cord up through my shirt. Man, Bluetooth. I love Bluetooth headphones now. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
That was a game changer for real.
I still remember the first song I taught myself how to play, and it wasn't the whole song, but I'd say at least like 25% of the song would have been White Zombie, Astro Creep, I think it was.
That's really ironic. You realize how weird that is, right?
It is weird because the first official CD that was gifted, and a friend of mine gave me a CD, was White Zombie's first album. I never had a CD player. My brother had like an old Sony or something, and my first official CD that I had was White Zombie's first album.
So get this. So you saw the picture, but that's the burnt tape that I had.
Yeah,
I used.
White Zombie something, I believe.
Yeah, White Zombie, Astro Creep burned onto it, or whatever you do
That
on a
is
tape.
funny. Yeah, 1965 was the song.
And I have a bunch of tapes, but for some reason, that's what I picked as a reference.
Yeah,
How weird is that?
yeah. For the remix shirt.
Which is going to be cool. Yeah. So if people don't know, he's going to have a merch table like no other. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. I can't wait to see. That's what I'm excited for. I want to come to the show and see the table set up and be like, yep,
Yeah,
gonna kill it.
Artwork, the one piece is on the table.
I know, it's almost a shame to put anything on it.
Yeah, I mean, it'll blend into my cash box because the cash box is lime green.
So how do you think, has your musical taste changed since you were younger?
Yeah, I'd say since high school. I mean, I've always liked pop music. High school, a lot of my focus was on metal and hard rock. I mean, Stained, Korn. Korn was a big influence in my drumming early on. Man, I used to really be into like Cold Chamber and Soulfly.
Yeah.
Those bands, I used to go out of my way whenever they come around. Like I would go to Philadelphia, the Electric Factory, Seven Dust. Well, my idol on drums is Morgan Rose.
Me too.
Yeah, I just got to meet up with him last. That would have been last Sunday, I believe. Not this past. The one
You
before.
hung out with him?
Yeah, it was in Reading. They played in Reading. With,
Yeah, I saw him in Harrisburg, and it was such a great show.
Yeah, I missed that show. I think it was a weird day of the week.
Yeah, it was like a Tuesday or Wednesday. That's a cool place, though. I like HMAC.
Yeah. Yeah,
show.
I'd say he's my go-to. Vinnie Paul, Chris Ballinger, the original drummer of the band Flaw.
Mm.
Friends with him. And I think there's a fourth one up there from another band that most people don't remember or know called Atom Ship. I can't remember. Can't remember the guy's name. They had one album back in like 2004, 2005. I discovered them because they played with Flaw on their second album tour of Drowning Pool.
So you were in bands coming up?
Yeah, a bunch of different. There was a screamo band. There was a punk rock band I was in, a metalcore band. So yeah, I did a lot of backing vocals and played drums throughout the years.
Can you drum and play or drum and sing at the same time?
Yeah, I'd wear the whole headset, the whole Morgan Rose setup.
How's that work for you? That's one I've always struggled with. Is it hard for you to focus on one or the other?
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. It depends on the body movement. You almost got to like slow down your movements and like focus on the song, but not so much where it's gonna make you like mess up a note or or a word you forgot because you're so focused on staying in time.
Do you think it's harder to drum and sing versus like play guitar and sing or play bass and sing?
I think drumming and singing is probably the hardest.
Because you got everything moving at the same time.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I watch Phil Collins and I'm like, I don't know how you do it. But Morgan's a whole different. I saw him at the Chameleon years ago, and he'd put the stick over between his neck, and oh man.
Yep, does around the world with it.
Yeah, and he hasn't lost. I tell you, the things he does while he's playing, and it's like it's a Seven Dust song. How can you have room to do anything?
Right.
What's your favorite album from Seven Dust?
Animosity.
Is it?
Yeah.
So you must have loved this tour then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I grew up with the first tape. The first tape's the the best for me.
Yeah, that was the second time I've seen that tour, so I got to catch the second leg and the third leg of it.
That's cool. So you're in Hanover, right?
Yeah.
What's the music scene up there like? Is it conservative? Is it?
I think it's just like a lot of like cover band indie artists around here. I know there's probably a few up and coming bands, but I wouldn't really know of because I spend a lot of time up in the Harrisburg area anyway, so I'm more familiar with the scene up there.
How is it up there?
I mean, you got a lot of like metalcore bands, and there's some like mixed genres up in Harrisburg area.
Is it hard for you to like find who to not latch onto, but you know what I mean, like buddy up with?
Um, since I made so many friends with other artists and bands and stuff throughout the years, like
Mm-hmm.
finding
Makes it a little easier.
to play behind me has not been too hard. Um, I'm gonna have a backup string of guys for my go-to as well. That's kind of been the hardest part,
Mm.
who's gonna be the backup guys. So I mean, I've been talking to a few different guys.
So you don't have a set group of guys that you always play with?
No, these guys around are all new compared to who was playing with me years ago. Um, I know you know Tanis.
Mm-hmm.
Tanis is playing guitar for me.
Oh wow, that's cool.
He's probably gonna be my go-to guy. He'll be
Yeah.
busy. Obviously, his stuff with Lives Lost and some of his other projects.
Yeah, just saw. It's amazing how bands. I've talked to a couple bands where members always change. It's always the nature of the band. Usually,
Yeah,
you got to reconfigure and figure things out.
yeah. Those things are not fun to deal with sometimes.
No, yeah, I've had a bunch of those situations. What gives you the courage to sing on stage?
For me, it's like an addiction, man. The thrill is up there, like just being an entertainer. Just being able to focus on somebody in the crowd and know that they're paying attention to you or making eye contact to you, and really feeling what I'm singing or in that moment of the song. Um, just being up there for those 15, 30 minutes or an hour,
Hmm.
and man, with the lights on, it's just like an energy rush, man.
What was the first time you were up on stage?
As far as like my solo stuff, I played this bar here in town, Hanover,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like my CD release show on that particular. I'm just gonna call it a demo because it never made its way to iTunes or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a good show. It was, I think I only had like 6 or 7 songs, so it went by really quick, but it had a really good turnout. I think I sold shirts that night too.
Yeah, I think merch these days is where it's at. It's like, the scene has changed for musicians as far as their singles. It's like, but you have to either tour and have good merch to make it nowadays. How's that been for you?
I mean, I haven't dug too much into that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how this
I guess
new
you're still
album goes.
starting, huh?
Yeah, just got it started back up. I went on like a small hiatus because I went into playing drums again, and
Mm.
then I went on a little hiatus, and I did a performance last year at we have what's called the Hanover pageant. It's like Miss America and stuff like that, but it's called the Miss Hanover pageant, where all the up and coming senior girls from all the local high schools, they all compete, for the crown, just like they do on Miss America. But I was one of the performers last year, So I sang a song called "Not Over You" by Gavin DeGraw, and I had gotten like a standing ovation. It was just such a great performance. And basically, I was just like, "What am I doing? Why am I wasting my time? I have all these songs I could be writing." So it was kind of like it lit a spark under me, and that's pretty much when I went back in the studio and started working on this album. And I'm like, I need to pull the trigger now and go, 110% at this. So it's
Wow.
kind of like where I'm at now. I'm actually performing at it again. I'm gonna be doing my Sam Smith remake that I did back in
Yeah,
June.
that's a really good song. I like your version of it. I like how you did that.
Yeah, it turned out really great.
Mhm.
Me and Hayden Calhoun, um, the guy that helped produce the record and engineered it for me, we definitely hit that one out of the park as far as giving it a little bit different style with the tempo. And that's
Yeah,
pretty much it from there, man.
yeah, I would say that was yours. And that's the greatest part about doing covers is that when people do put their selves into it, you know.
Yeah.
Is it hard for you to write songs in this culture of today? I mean, I guess you're not really controversial, but you still probably think about it, you know?
Um. Yeah. So, I mean, there's sometimes where I hit like a wall, have writer's block. I mean, I have so much I should be writing now, but I'm kind of exhausted from doing the album these past 9 months. So I'm really not looking to get into writing anything right now. I mean, I have a bunch of songs already on paper I could doodle with and move around. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't get I don't get really into like politics and stuff like that. There
So you're
might be
fairly safe.
there might be a song or two where I might slide like a little slang in or
Yeah,
something here and there, but most of my stuff you'll find that is all about struggles within relationships, couples, females. I tend to write about a lot of positivity stuff, inner strength type things, and finding the will to move on with the goals of your life and not be held back. That's why you get songs like "Top of the World." There's
yeah.
another.
I was just going to ask you about that and like delve deeper into that. So what made you come up with that?
I've written that song a long time ago, and it's always been about the same message. Just getting that one shot, and didn't matter whatever opportunities would come our way, um, because I know my worth, and I know that I just want to perform. I just want to get out on stage. I just want to get that one shot. Now I want everybody to hear my stories and my voice, and be able to also stay humble with myself and not let the fame consume me, because that tends to happen to a lot of people.
Definitely.
Get caught up in it, and then they forget some of the people that they grew up around or supported them.
Hmm. Um, what was I going to say? Shoot, I had a I had a question and it totally just flew away. What was it now?
I mean, "Top of the World" will always
Oh,
just
that's what it
big
was.
anthem. It was always meant to be an anthem song.
Yeah, that's what I remembered what it was as soon as you said top of the world because I was going to say about one of the lyrics in there made me think because you said you ask yourself when will I make it, so when do you think you'll make it or what do you think it'll be that you're like wow I made it.
Um, Once the album's out, and then once I can actually see how it's trending, and what the first week of sales would look like. I don't even want to think about that because I want to get these two shows that I have coming up in December into books. Uh,
Hmm.
I mean, December is gonna be crazy busy. That's when I'm gonna be doing my next music video. So I don't even want to think about all that. All I see is dollar signs right now as far as what things cost
Yeah, I believe it.
between merch and then shooting it out a video.
Yeah, I get it. Music video wise, what are your least favorite parts and your best favorite parts about doing a music video?
The only thing I can say is take after take, because the director wants like 30 shots. I mean, it don't matter if they're not messed up. He just wants 30 shots because it could be the lighting that he's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
30. And 30 might only have like 5 good shots that he got with the light out of those 30 takes. Yeah.
And
So, I mean,
do they
I'd like
play the
all of it out.
audio,
Yeah, we have the audio playing while we're running it.
and you just kind of lip sync to it as it goes?
That's pretty much what you have to do.
Mm.
And then he can really edit it where if a word fell off like a thousandth of a second, get it as close as possible, lining up with the lips.
As far as bandmates then go for that, how do you decide? You know what I mean? Because since they're changing in and out, does that matter?
Yes and no. Unless I would always have a permanent backing band.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of these guys already have their projects and bands that they're in. So until that day comes, I might have like 2 bass players. I might have 2 drummers and a backup guy for tennis.
Do you audition all these guys?
I will be. I mean, right now I kind of like have, some set guys because I already know how they can play. Like Mark, the drummer, I know he's good with playing tracks and stuff. So I don't even really have to expect much out of him. I just send him the tracks over, and then when everybody's ready to rehearse, we'll set the days up here and start rehearsing.
With you being a drummer, or do you find yourself more, getting into what the drummer is doing that you hire?
Yeah, but I'm not going to be a stickler.
Yeah, picky. That's what it is. I was thinking of a word.
No, because I know I'm going to throw ideas at him, like, about crescendoing in and out of certain areas, or do like an extra fill or something to give it more of a better live aspect to the song.
Mm-hmm.
So,
is there a band you played with or that got you starstruck? Do you ever get starstruck?
a band that I played with, though,
or just that you hung out with? You know what I mean? On the same bill, you're like, man, I can't believe I'm playing with these guys.
Oh man, Crazy Town was the only band I think I remember. I haven't gotten a chance to play. I mean, I played with some other big bands, but I wasn't really into them or
Mm-hmm.
to them enough. I mean, played a show with Pawn and Burning Body and Miss May I a while back with one metalcore band I was in, and I wasn't really like, oh, okay, this is cool. We opened up for him.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I think when I think I never thought meeting a musician I liked would get me starstruck, but I remember meeting LeJean at a Warp Tour when he wasn't even, they were still new. Nobody knew who they were really. And I just happened to look over and see him standing there and thought it was him, but he was watching a band, all unassuming. And I realized it was him, got nervous, walked over, he signed my jersey, and I was just, you rock, like it's such a bizarre thing,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of why I asked that, because sometimes you just can't help it. It sneaks up on you. Like I imagine, like when you were around Morgan Rose, I think I'd probably freak out.
I mean, I kind of just wanted to talk to him, like, like a big brother type at this point. I met him so many times.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And he's known me since I was a kid. I went to a show one time at a venue called Shakey's that used to be in Hershey.
Yeah, I remember there.
I wasn't old enough to really go to the show, but I went anyway. And I remember walking in through the side. They were setting up, and manager their tour manager asked, "I need somebody to do my drummer's laundry."
Oh, wow.
And I was kind of standing at the right place, right time. I said, "I will." So yeah, he gave me this trash bag full of his laundry and $20. And then I was like, "Well, I'm just gonna go buy him all the best detergent and stuff anyway." I got pictures around here somewhere of me doing his laundry, and then the stuff going around in the washer. And then it ended up being because it was during the Animosity album, so it was like his jumpsuit that he wore on
Oh,
stage,
wow.
and then it was pretty much all his socks and underwear. So I didn't
Were you,
really.
were you tempted to just take it and run?
Nope, not that. I just took that bag and I flipped it inside out, and get a washer and dryer.
Yeah, because you'd think some people would be like, "Oh man, I got a perfect thing from a musician. I'm gonna just go." But yeah, I mean, you kind of did it the smart way, build a relationship.
Yeah, because then he pretty much told me to take whatever I wanted off of the merch rack, and I was kind of hanging out with him. He was later on. He came out. He was playing in the arcade. He was playing Pac-Man. I was just kind of chilling with him, talking about drum stuff, and he gave me a handful of his signature sticks.
I'm so jealous right now. I'm glad you can't see my face. That's funny. So I saw something called Star-Crossed Artist Group. What is that about?
That was an old management thing a while back, and it never really took off the way it was supposed to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would have been like, I don't even know if you want to consider it my third manager or not. I've had a couple managers over the years.
How do you go about finding a manager?
They're around. You just gotta shop around.
Hmm.
Look at their credentials, obviously. That's pretty much that.
I can imagine it being hard to trust somebody, completely with yourself.
Yeah. I mean, my
Is that?
first one was good. I won't touch base on too much of the stuff.
Mm,
But my first one was good. I mean, she financially backed whatever I could try to get my music off the ground. She was based out of Florida. I remember she did get one of my songs played on the local station at the time.
oh, wow.
Yeah,
What was that like hearing that?
that was cool. She hurried up and called me and was playing it over the phone.
Oh, man, that's cool.
Yeah,
Is it true that you auditioned for Lady Gaga,
yeah,
backup singer?
yeah. In 2010, I believe it is.
How'd,
2000.
how'd that come about?
Well, that was my first manager at the time. Somehow got in touch with a casting agent out of LA that was in charge of these tryouts or auditions. I remember it was like a Thursday morning, real early. I got a call from her, and she's telling me, "You're never gonna believe what I got you." And I was like, "Okay, it's gotta be pretty serious." And she's like, "I got you an audition and trial for Lady Gaga backup singer, and you're gonna have to be in New York first thing Sunday morning."
Wow.
So, yeah, I wish I would. With that, the opportunity was super cool. I had my original email from the casting agent. I went up and sang one of my originals, which that original is actually going to be on my new album. The song's called Dreams that I sang. What was I going to say here? Yeah, the whole audition was based off of that demo submission and a headshot. And like, I wish I knew more on Lady Gaga at the time. I just knew a one song that was on the station. But I literally went out and bought the album, was listening to it. Never would have thought maybe I should have just worked on singing like Poker Face or something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I liked it. But it was like all her producers. I think she was supposed to be there. I'm not sure. I do remember she played back-to-back shows in Atlantic City and was dehydrated. So I think she had to cancel a show or two on her tour. But the whole outcome of that was if I would have got in, it would have been like a whole year's paid housing or whatever up that way, and I would have been on the Monster Ball tour as the backup singer, stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. It was a good experience.
But did you get, so they just send you like a letter saying sorry, or?
Oh, they just, they didn't really say no. They were just actually complimenting on because I was also there because she got me 2 auditions. The other audition was for a touring drummer, and I wasn't too crazy about it. I was like, I'll do it. I was in a room of maybe like 30 drummers, and they were from all over. And I think 2 of the drummers there, one was the drummer for Gavin DeGraw,
Hmm.
and another drummer there was drummer for Puff Daddy. And
No pressure, huh?
got the gig, the drummer for Puff Daddy, and I think he still plays drums for her to this day. Yeah, that was cool. I wasn't too crazy about it. I more wanted the vocal stuff, just because I didn't have the stuff really well rehearsed, and it wasn't rehearsed to a click track as well.
Yeah, sometimes you do it just because it would, put you where you need to be, but it might not satisfy your soul,
Yeah.
And what about American Idol? Did you try American Idol too?
Season 7, I believe it was, or season 6. Well, I think it's season 7. Season 6, Daltrey was a run-up or something. But yeah, I got an 8x10 Idol photo here from the website somewhere. Yeah, I qualified for that. That's when that show was crazy, crazy busy. Like 20,000 people at the Wachovia Center in Philadelphia. It took like 2 days or something to get through all the casting. But I remember waiting in line for like 12 hours, and the whole arena was almost filled up. I went up and auditioned and sang what was it? Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they loved
That's,
it.
that's a big swing.
Yeah, I mean Steve Perry. Steve Perry's one of my idols when it comes to vocalist.
Yeah, I could see him being in your range. Yeah,
Great
definitely.
there. Yeah, I mean that's it with the American Idol stuff. Sometime between 2015 to 2018, somewhere I can't remember exact year. I also auditioned for the X Factor in Long Island,
Oh, wow.
and I qualified for that as well. That one, they never really tell me. The producers never really told me what they're looking for. They're just like something. They just tell you a no or something. That was the same thing with American Idol. Like I sang in the second round. They asked me to sing another song choice, and I sang "Fall Out Boy," "Sugar We're Going Down,"
Mm.
and they're like, "Well, we love your look and this and that, but we already have our rockers," and that's pretty much it. So
Yeah, the X Factor was weird. I remember picking up on that and watching it, giving it an episode or 2 or 3, and I was like, this is a weird vibe. They'd lump them into a group, you're the rockers, and it was weird.
yeah,
Did you ever think about trying out for The Voice?
I did. I don't like the process of it.
Oh, really? Compared to the other ones, how's it different?
I don't know. It just seems like they already kind of like know what they're looking for. It just, I don't know. It wasn't a fun audition.
Oh, so you did try for The Voice?
Yes, I didn't really care for it, the setup. You go in the audition or with the four or five other people with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you go in a room and do it.
Huh.
Yeah, you basically just wait your turn.
Is it, what are the nerves like? Like, I can't imagine, like, for any of those getting out there and like, here we go.
Yeah, it can be a little nerve wracking. I know Idol was, but I just let it all go. I mean, there was almost 20,000 people in there. I have a picture where my buddy went along, he took a picture, and then you could see all the people around. And I remember throwing up my gold ticket, and people were cheering me on.
That's got to be a fun feeling, huh?
Yeah, it was.
What keeps you inspired to keep making music?
Um, I feel like I have so many different things I could talk about, whether it's personal struggles, but finding inner peace and ways in and out of challenging myself and staying positive and keeping the drive alive to go through one's goals and what they want to do in life. Such as I always knew I was out to be an artist. I just needed to really see that. I haven't seen it for many years, and not since like last October when I performed, and I kind of like lit the spark under my ass. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to get out all my books and stuff and start taking it to the stories. I would pretty much say this record's going to be a roller coaster ride of emotions and happiness and positivity and back to emotions.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm honestly excited for people to hear what you have, and just the ones that I've heard, I like them all.
I can't even remember what I sent you. I don't. You've got Top of the World. I don't know if I
Mhm.
sent you another track.
No, just the other track that we're gonna
Yeah.
use as a treat, which I think honestly, that's the one thing. Like, Top of the World, as great as it is, people are so used to covers and hearing what they already know. And if you do it good and you do it well, then hey, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
It's weird how society works like that.
Yeah. That particular one, that Heat Seeker, we'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's gonna be really different. Not too many people are gonna know it unless they really know that generation.
Yeah, and that's what makes it kind of special.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different, um, just because it's got a different vibe to it. But that really showcases that genre without giving any
Mm-hmm.
like hints away here.
Yeah, I know it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think we're right in that perfect time for it to be around. So, people, you guys don't even know, but you'll know. You'll know. Um, what would be your dream team band? Like, if you could make an all-star band, who's drumming, who's singing? Well, and you can sing if you want.
right.
So,
Um, Morgan on drums, Morgan Rose.
I figured.
Um, Chester, Chester on vocals.
Ooh, good one.
I don't know if I have a bass player in there. Let's see here, bass player that I like. Oh my, I don't know who would be bass.
Yeah, I got a couple go-tos. My go-to would be Les Claypool. I love him. I love Primus because you can tell he truly loves the bass.
Yeah,
Flea's a good one.
I can't think of anybody.
I know. I'm trying to think of it besides that. Entwistle. The who?
I mean, Mike was it Mike Mushkit? I can't say his name.
God
The,
bless you.
the guitar player of Stained.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
bass
don't know.
player. I'm
Have you
lost.
listened to Stained lately?
Uh-uh.
I didn't see him live, but I heard him live. And ever since Aaron Lewis went and did his country album. Now Stain kind of has this like little, I don't know, it's not the same. He's just got a little country twang to him now.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in a while.
So one of the questions I had was, is Starr your real last name?
No.
What's that about?
Starr came about a friend of mine I met at an audition in New York. He asked me, we should do something with your name, because my last name is Weaver, but I've been going by Starr now for probably a good bit of like 10 years. Starr means some things are real right, is what it means. I don't abbreviate it because I think it's going to look silly. But that's how it came about. He said, why don't we call you Brenden? Why don't you call yourself Brenden Starr? Because we were thinking of an artist name when he kind of discovered me a little bit up at this audition. I stayed in touch with him throughout the years. Yeah, so he's like, we'll call you Brenden Starr. How do you like that? I said, I like that. And then I changed the letter in the name because the spelling's not the same. And then I put a second R on the end. I said, how about, I put a second R on the end. And then I came up with the abbreviation for it. And it pretty much describes who I am and what I'm about. And I never try to really sugarcoat anything in my songs. If you don't like the topic about what I'm writing about, you can always, not listen to it, change the channel type thing. Like, I'm never not going to hold back in my songs. That's one thing I think that I can stand out from a lot of other artists.
Yeah, I always think of it like Eminem, like just not giving a single care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although we found out years later that he really did care about what people thought about him, but didn't stop him though.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, I think we've, as Howard would say, I think you've said it all. Right?
Yeah.
And I think we made it through.
Oh, yeah, no cutouts.
Yeah, sounds good, I think. So for people that don't know, this podcast episode is going to be a little different. Instead of video, it's going to be audio. But I'm going to still figure out how to put the audio up on YouTube, so I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I am excited. Buddy, it's great to meet you. I appreciate you trusting me enough with your art. Like I said, it's what I love, man. I love design. I'm a creative guy like you are. I'm trying to do big things too, and help people out, help me out. Let's all help each other. That's how it should be.
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on some really cool merch ideas and stuff, and on the same page, so this has been coming together really good.
Yeah, I'm excited for what you got going on, and I'm excited to show people. So why don't you tell people where they can see you next and what you got coming up?
Let's see here. I think it's October 26th. I'm going to be performing at the Miss Hanover pageant. December 9th, I'm going to be performing at the Black Rose Ballroom with a bunch of other bands, Lyndhurst, Cole, Sugar Hysteria. The Black Rose Ballroom is downtown Hanover. That is a BYOB show, $20 for tickets. Tickets are being printed right now, so I will have information in the next couple of days on them. December 17th, I am playing at the Racehorse Tavern in Thomasville, Pennsylvania. So there's my only 2 shows this year. And I can officially say it now. January 27th, my album comes out, and that'll be my album release party show at Love Drafts in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. As of right now, that lineup should still be confirmed. It's with Lyndhurst, Lives Lost, There's a hip hop artist. I can't remember his name. He's the opener. Observe the 93rd is supposed to be co-headlining, so it's a pretty stacked show. That's the first time making that announcement because I don't have a flyer or anything made up for that yet. But the CD release show is going to be stacked.
Yeah, that's exciting. Another person I'm looking forward to hopefully talk to is from Observe the 93rd. I want to talk to them too. That'll be a cool one.
Yeah, I haven't seen those guys in a while, especially Derek, singer.
Yeah, hopefully I can get him on and we can talk. But man, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could make it work, and I hope
Yeah.
people love this and check you out.
It's going to be good.
Gonna be good. All right, buddy. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you on the flip side.
Heck yeah, it was good talking.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Bye.